Christians. Classic Donald Trump. Dr. Dahiru.
Well, of course, you know my opinion on this very matter when it first came up on this same show. I said that the response of the government was a little bit too reactionary, and they should have taken time to look at the concerns raised by some of our American friends and allies as it concerns targeted killings of Christians in Nigeria. You could argue whether the killings itself have gotten to genocidal proportion. It depends on who is talking about genocide or who's defining genocide. But one thing is sure, there have been targeted killings of Christians in Nigeria. I made the point again that if you doubt this, ISWAP is one group, for instance, whose stated goal is to cleanse Nigeria of its non-Muslim population, dismantle the state, and erect an Islamic state of their own version in its place. Why are we living in this denial? Didn't you see the attacks in churches? Now, if you recall, in 2022, there was a tweet from Muhammad Buhari, former president, when he gave a National Honors Award to the Imam from Plateau, Imam Abdullah, who was said to have saved Christians in his mosque. Hundreds of Christians, when they came under attack by killer herdsmen. In that attack, records show that between 100 and 300 people were slaughtered. People who were coming from church, mourners who were coming from church, were killed by these terrorists. These are targeted killings. And let me say something here, Mr. Kofi. We are discussing killings in terms of genocide. The identity of the victim, as well as that of the perpetrator, comes under close scrutiny. Let me say this today clearly. If a Muslim terrorist group like Boko Haram kills 1,000 people, and 900 of the 1,000 are Muslims, but only 100 are Christians, there is more attention. It will generate more controversy, it will generate more concern for 100 people that are Christians to be killed by a terror group that is Muslim in orientation than the 900 Muslims. You can't discard that as genocide because, well, they belong to the same faith. So at best, you can simply say conflict or killings. But when it involves somebody of another faith, because genocide itself means somebody is being killed because of their faith. And let me tell you this again today, for anybody that is listening. The Muslims that Boko Haram is killing are Muslims they do not consider to be Muslims. But the Christians they kill are people that they are killing because they are Christians. This is the difference. If Boko Haram knows you are a Muslim or believes you are a Muslim, they won't kill you. But they don't believe that some of us that are not with them in Sambisa Forest are Muslims. So they equate us along with Christians as infidels and non-believers. This is the reality that the government itself should know. And so when these concerns were raised, I said to some people in government to say, look, simply admit that this matter exists, but it is not supported by the state. You know, unlike what happened in Sudan, for instance, when the genocide in Western Darfur by Arab militiamen, the Janjaweed militiamen, against the non-Arab population of Western Darfur in Sudan, the government of Omar al-Bashir backed the terrorists to carry out the ethnic cleansing in Western Darfur. So this one can raise serious concern because the government itself is aiding and abetting it. If you also look at in Rwanda, when the genocide took place in Rwanda, the government of Rwanda supported the Hutu militia that carried out the ethnic cleansing of Tutsis in Rwanda. The government was complicit. But in the case of Nigeria, the government, particularly the terrible government, couldn't have been complicit in the killing of Christians. You know, it's not possible. But what America is trying to make us do, for me, with the tantrum from Trump, the angry tweet, is a shock therapy. To say, Mr. President, change the templates you inherited from your predecessor in the war against terror. Change that template quickly now and become a state. You know, the world is wondering, how are you not able to defeat these people? Because, again, in some of these conflict zones, particularly in Benue and Plateau, I have always warned, when 100 people are killed in Benue, 50 people are killed, one numbers, high numbers. Look at what happened in Yelwata recently. You don't treat such killings as a communal crisis. That is one area the government has dropped the ball. I don't know, the template before the government is such that the killings in Benue and Plateau are usually tied to communal crisis, and I've always said no. If, for instance, a native, mostly Christian people of Benue and Plateau go and attack a Fulani man and his cattle, who is most likely being a Muslim, they're going to be a Muslim, the state should bring justice to that offender in this instance quickly. Because the Fulani man has a right to live there and do his business peacefully. And nobody has a right to kill him or destroy his business, which in this case is cattle. Now, similarly, if in anger or somebody feels you want to retaliate on behalf of this man has been wronged, he now enters a village where people of shared identity with the people they suspect to be perpetrators of this other crime are sleeping in their huts, unarmed, defenseless, having no business at all with the earlier incident, and you slaughter them in hundreds. You can't call that communal crisis. No. These numbers are rising, and it is tilting towards genocidal proportion. And this is what I've been trying to tell the government. Don't treat this area. It's not communal crisis. Communal crisis I used to know. Both groups will meet at a point and shoot at each other seriously. If you look at the communal crisis in, say, Ebony State, for instance, both communities will come out armed, everybody's armed, and they clash, and they fight themselves. But this one is not a communal crisis. It is not. So what I think this should do for the government is this. It is time now to change the template and apply the political will to deal decisively with people that are killing Nigerians across board. Trump will not invade Nigeria. Trump will not come to Nigeria to intervene. No, he will not. At best, he will sanction Nigeria. But he doesn't need to sanction for us as a government and as a people to come together to defeat terror. And there's this conspiracy of both sides, this fallacy of both sides that we keep trumpeting by government and some of the supporters in the intellectual world. No. There are no two sides in these killings. There is only one side. And what is that one side? Who is that one side? Unarmed Nigerians, defenseless Nigerians, innocent Nigerians, suffering Nigerians, both right. Christian and Muslim on one hand, that are the victims of killers across board. So for the Muslim community too, because I fear that this might, what I fear most is that this alarm raised by America might create sectarian crisis in Nigeria. That's what I fear the most, not an American invasion. I say this because already I'm seeing angry responses from the Muslim community, which is unwarranted. I've seen statements from Munich. I've seen statements from the Supreme Council for Sharia in Nigeria. I've seen statements from prominent scholars like Gumi. America did not say that Muslims and Christians are at war in Nigeria, and we are coming to fight the Muslims on behalf of the Christians. That was not what Trump said. Trump said that are jihadi, Islamist terrorists that are killing Christians in Nigeria, and the government is not able to stop it. We are coming to defeat them. So what is the anger about? And now make it look like it's a Christian-Muslim conflict in Nigeria. And if you look at the rhetoric across social media, it begins to turn to a Muslim-Christian confrontation. Whereas these same people have claimed that more Muslims have died in the hands of jihadi terrorists than Christians. So if America has the magic wand to kill that terrorist that is killing more Muslims and less of Christians, why are we now actually having this argument and throwing tantrums at each other on social media? So I want to call on the government this morning. All right. The National Security Advisor, the IGP of Police, reining all religious leaders across on both sides who are going to be overhating this policy until Nigeria and the United States are able to resolve this issue amicably and find a collaborative way to defeat terror once and for all in Nigeria.